Modern trucks are for weaklings. Alright, let's do that one more time. I want you to picture the truck your least favorite jock in high school drove, or would have driven if you lived in a movie where people's personas matched the cars they had. Whichever of the automotive cod pieces that you're picturing, this is the truck that truck always wanted to be, but never had the character to grow up and become. This is exactly what people mean when they jokingly say they don't build them like they used to. And this isn't even a perfectly preserved example. The truck has character in the way that when you didn't want to do something as a kid, your mom would inevitably chime in with, but it builds character. And you know what? Perfect. This thing embodies the term brilliantly stupid. Like, look at this. The oil pan, like most Ford V8s, is at the bottom, and it's relatively easy to access the bolt to get to it. This thing is such a monster truck, you don't even jack it up to do an oil change, you just, like, slide underneath. Because of course you do. And as with most other vehicles, you put the cardboard down, you put the pan down, and then you look up at the bolt and realize the bolt is right in line with the axle. There is no way to do an oil change without the oil just on top of the front axle. This was bought off of a front yard, having sat there for 2 years. After squirting a bit of flammable liquid into the carburetor, it started right up. Do the same thing to most cars that cost that much, and you're going to need to flush the fuel system, look through the oil system, flush the cooling. There's a ton of random stuff you're going to have to do to get it back to even running properly. The motor in this is what's called a 351 modified. Modified doesn't actually mean it's got a whole bunch of modified parts in it, that's just the name Ford gave these motors. It's making about 250 horsepower, which sounds okay as a number until you remember how heavy this thing is. But the motor can totally make more than that, and there are tons that make more than that have just been breathed on, but let alone some of the ridiculous versions that they've made, but it's heavily under-stressed. Nothing is working hard, and because of that, nothing breaks. Modern-day trucks have to do equal parts work and cosplay. They aren't just the thing you own if you work at a sawmill 50 hours a week and need something that can haul lumber and tow a trailer. They're things you buy to show off you don't care about wasting a ton of gas when you idle listening to pseudo-country music, like waiting for your spawn to get out of his $30,000 a year preschool. But not this. This is real. This is a construction equipment with just enough strap to it to make it legal for the road. What does it feel like to drive? It sounds like its fuel is lesser cars. Oh my god, the steering wheel is it's tiny. It's this, I don't mean the diameter of it is actually relatively large, but the thing that you grab, it's thin, and it's got these finger hooks all the way around. So the steering play, if you can see this, we're still going forward. It's huge and kind of ridiculous to place, but the sight lines are amazing. You would never be able to see like this out of a modern truck. There'd be giant thick pillars blocking your way, but while this is big and it's huge, don't get me wrong, we're going to AutoZone to do an oil change in the parking lot because we physically couldn't fit it in the driveway that we wanted to. It's clear to see out of. There's just so much torque that you don't even need to use the gas. It's gonna get up to most stop and go speeds just idling. It's just a monster of torque. Don't think of this as the way you'd think of a modern high-end car. It's the exact opposite in all the best ways. A high-end car you don't ever have to think about until it goes horribly wrong, and then someone else will handle it for you. This is a little bit broken all the time, but you can manage it and keep it that way. And then just stepping down, it rocks for the next 30 seconds. Look, here's just a little, and it feels alive. Bare minimum, if you're getting an accident with this thing, either you're not feeling it, or you're not feeling anything ever again. Everyone keeps looking. Every single person. It doesn't matter what you're in. It is weird and loud and clearly old, and it's the kind of thing, the modern day equivalent of like old Spartans, which was always supposed to be a contradiction in terms because you were supposed to die on the battlefield. How is he still here? Either something was wrong or you're a god and I can't tell which. And that's kind of, that's how I would sum this up. You can see the corner with this thing because you're sitting uptight. You feel like a queen. You feel regal when you're driving this thing. But that's not actually the corner. I have to be telling myself, no, it goes for like a foot past where you think it does. But one of the cool things about these is, yeah, they break, and yeah, there's tons of things that go wrong. You can fix literally everything, and I don't mean in the generic, you could pay somebody to do it. I mean you, the person watching this video right now. I don't care what level of mechanical expertise you have. If you're willing to put in the time to learn, this is the thing you can learn on. There's nothing computerized. There's no weirdness that you can't work on other than needing some tools you probably don't have that you can pick up.
Ta-da! Parked.
These things are brilliantly stupid, and I highly recommend that everybody gets one. If not as your permanent vehicle, experience it. They don't build cars like this anymore, and I know that makes me sound like I'm a 90-year-old fart, but it's true in this case, because they can't build stuff like this anymore. Modern day trucks have to be fuel efficient, they have to be comfortable, they have to be the kind of thing that you would not hate driving downtown exactly the way it comes from the factory. And that means that they have to get rid of some of the brilliance in order to get rid of some of the stupidity. Kind of a shame. Experience this. Go out and get one, even if it's only for a short period of time, because it genuinely changes the way you look at other cars. Everything else you drive from this point forward is compared to this, both for better and for worse. But it is an important reference point. It's empowering is the only word I can use for it. People stop, not because they have to, but because they're scared.